All right, all right, all right. Give it a couple seconds before we tune in. People, what's going on? Let it turn up a little bit. Let everybody see that we live. People, welcome to the Painful Truth. People, we got a big guest in the building today. It's a blessing to see my brother from a different mother doing his thing, having his side hustle, becoming to his journey. Guys, we got Harry Dennis in the building. People, I want you guys to understand, Flyboy Diesel is in the building, people.
Straight up.
And it's real, it's official. Appreciate you coming on tonight, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you for having me, bro. Appreciate you for having me.
All the love in the world, man. A lot of people don't know, Harry, you're amazing in a lot of ways, how you speak, how you think, your hard work as a father, your hard work as an entrepreneur. And I want you guys to know what we're talking about tonight is one of the ways that Harry makes money. But just showing you guys that in life, a hobby can be a lucrative hobby if you understand how to actually financially monetize it. So, Harry, let's first start off with this, man. Tell everybody a little bit about you. Who is Harry? Who is Flyboy Diesel? Other than the fact you fit as a motherfucker.
All right, so that's all part of the show too, man. That's all part of the show. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Flyboy. From Florida, South Florida. A man of many things, but a lot of people know me more for my charismatic voice, my charismatic attitude, my charismatic view of life. You see what I'm saying? And and there's a lot that come with that. Entrepreneur, multifaceted entrepreneur, family man, husband, father. You know what I mean? So we got a lot going on.
My thing, Harry, a lot of people, as I get calls every day of entrepreneurship, oh, you can't be married and try to do entrepreneurship, it's too much. Oh, trying to be an entrepreneur is not possible when you have a family. Let me ask you this. What drives you every day doing what it is that we're about to tell people that you do? What drives you?
I mean, just in that question right there, it kind of, it speaks volumes to just a mindset, right? So, a lot of people will say, it's hard to do those things because they got a family, they got this, they got that, and
right.
In retrospect, I do all of that because I got a family. You see what I'm saying? Because I got, you know what I mean? Like that would really motivate me because, I was born to immigrant parents, straight fresh off the boat from Haiti. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I seen them grind, and even for them back then, my mom was working at a dry cleaners. My pops was in construction. Grinding just to make like $10 an hour, $12, but they had it together. But then at the end of the day, because of their grind, they wasn't able to leave me anything tangible. And it ain't their fault. They brought me to America, so I'm good with that.
Okay, they gave you the main ingredient.
They gave me the main ingredient. So, but from there, I just use my desire to really leave something behind for my kids as like, my main driving force. You see what I'm saying? Like my main motivator in everything I do, really.
Let me say this to you, Harry. A lot of people want to know, what is it that you do and what inspired you to start that thing that you do?
All right. So, I mean, those that know me know the type of energy that I have when you're around me, right? Like I'm someone who likes to, like to laugh, like to crack jokes, like to make people laugh. So, I'm, anytime I'm at any event, a wedding, even funerals, right? Even during funerals, I'll be around in just the natural, charisma just to make people laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like get people outside their feelings and feel good. Everybody used to say, man, you need to get paid. You need to be on TV. You need to do this. You need to do that. And, and it's funny, though, because, a lot of times you don't really notice the type of people you got around you. Sometimes, like at one point, I used to get angry, like annoyed. I'm like, man, why they always keep saying the same thing? They're like, man, you wasting your time, man. You supposed to be on TV. You supposed to be doing something. You supposed to be getting paid. I'm like, bruh, I'm just cracking jokes, man. I'm just making people laugh. So then I got, a real, my best friend pretty much came up to me and he was like, man, look, he said, you literally could make money. He said, you do it anyway. So why don't you make money off of it? And I'm like, okay, like, so what you mean make money off? He said, bro, there's a bunch of avenues. You could do weddings, you could do this, and lucky for me, you know, he was an entrepreneur of his own in his own right as well. And he because he had that mindset, he was like, yeah, you should do this. Lo and behold, I had a friend of mine who was like, "Hey, I'm getting married. I want you to host it. I know you'll make everybody laugh. Woo woo woo." All right, cool. Man, I did the first wedding and like it was just so natural because it was like I wasn't like I'm a different type of host. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't plan nothing. I don't write nothing. I make sure everything is improv.
Organic.
Everything is organic improv. So that means anybody who had a wedding where I hosted, it's not the same as the last person I did. Ain't no way. It's no. You got your own little sauce, your own little flavor, but it's always a dope vibe. So that's I got I was able to start getting into once I did that first wedding, it was a wrap because now it was word of mouth. Once I did that wedding, I didn't do any promotions.
So let me get this right, Harry. Yeah. You get paid to host events.
Yeah,
anywhere from 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah. I do some like the smaller events. I do about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I do have like the bigger packages, like the weddings. Those I book out 5-hour blocks, 5 to 6 hour blocks, depending on what the package entails. But yeah, man.
I'm gonna say this. I've learned that what you do is so valuable because I've been to baby showers, I've been to weddings, I've been to kids' birthday events, whatever the case may be, where the energy was just so bland, a real boring event. I'm like, why didn't they hire a host?
Yeah.
Why didn't they hire somebody that can make us laugh? A person that got a sense of humor. Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand too in life, the value that you bring is entertainment and personality.
Yeah.
What's crazy about that is you can't teach that to anyone.
No.
So let me ask this: while using your mindset and your personality all the time, what do you feel is the most difficult part about being an entrepreneur like yourself?
All right. So because I do, the hosting is not the only realm that I have. I have where I'm an entrepreneur. I also have an electronic engineering company, a contracting company. So. In that aspect, finding the, clientele and the customers typically tend to be the harder issue. But with the hosting, to be honest with you, the most difficult part of it is kind of just the dealing with, because most of my big time money makers are the weddings, and I try to focus on the wedding packages. And that's when you deal with a lot of different personalities, different bridezillas a lot of the time, man. And sometimes I don't know what they call the husbandzillas, but they got husbands that be wigging out like they're so specific and meticulous about things. But it's more about the harder part is knowing how to work with different people, work with different personalities, and complete a goal, a vision that they see in their mind, and actually bring it to life. You see what I'm saying? So it's actually both sides. The contracting company, I deal with a lot of GCs. I deal with a lot of GCs, and those that know that type of business, dealing with, all they know is, vulgarity, pressure, screaming, all of this, and you got to be able to know how to navigate through that while making sure you get through a certain deadline. You know what I'm saying? And it's mainly working with the different peoples.
For you having different businesses, one being electrical contracting business, two being a hosting, eventing, what is the driving force behind you to do all that you do? Like, what drives you? What motivates you?
I mean, just to be honest, is mainly leaving a legacy, leaving an example, like a grinding type example, especially for my son. You see what I'm saying? So, basically to show that, it's not about just work, feeling like you got to go to work to make money. You could make money doing stuff that I'm literally making money to just talk and laugh and crack jokes, like literally. And, some people think, I don't know what, how others do it, but like I do the full shebang. I do lighting. Once I started learning the business, I was hosting, but then I saw those other avenues I can make even more money. I did some weddings, got the money from there, invested in some up lights. You can see some of my lights flashing now.
Yeah.
But I'll set up a whole reception with different up lighting, however you want it. I also have DJs that I supply that works with me. So I have DJs that are part of my portfolio where, any type of wedding, Haitian, Jamaican. I've done Mexican quinceañeras, a couple of them. So
wow,
yeah. So
diverse.
Yeah, very diverse. So like that's my drive is what drives me is really my kids, to give them a real example of once my son sees me when I go to these events. Sometimes I take him to set up the lights and set up the other things, but it's just it's more to show you, hey man, you ain't gotta just be clocking in every day, clocking in, clock out, clocking in, clock out. You got to be able to make some from yourself if you didn't have somewhere to clock in, clock out.
And that's one of the main reasons I started what I'm doing right now, interviewing local entrepreneurs, because it takes heart to do what you do. I got to commend you first and foremost. And a lot of people don't realize that it takes a lot of stamina to do what you do. A lot of us are entrepreneurs, every day grinding. We probably have 1 or 2 days off in the week, if that.
Yeah.
And we're making sure that we're consistently doing what we do and be the best at it every single day. And that's not an easy task to do. So let me ask you a question. What piece of advice could you give a person that want to get into entrepreneurship? What piece of advice could you give them for people that want to start, or they're in a position where, you know what, I feel like I got something, I'm scared, or I don't know if I can sell this, I don't know how to monetize. Like, what piece of advice would you give an upcoming entrepreneur?
My advice would be just do it, man. Just do it. Just do it. Forget about planning. Planning is part of it. But I'm gonna tell you what this is that's why it's good to have good people around you too, like good friends, good mentors, good colleagues or whatnot. I had a buddy of mine. I was like, man, I'm setting up the electrical contracting company right now. I'm just getting my clientele first, so I can get my clientele. Once I get clientele, then I'll go do all the licensing, and then I'll go get some electricians in different things to work, so
yeah, you're starting small.
Start small. I told him, look, man, I'm trying to plan, and then he was looking at me one time. He was like, all right. And a couple months later, he said, how's it going? I said, man, it's going good. I done planned this out, but now I got a plan to get this. He said, you gonna mess around and plan your way to a couple years and never have nothing going. He said, why don't you just do it? And I said, you know what? You got a point. I said, let me just go ahead and do it, because I did have some clients lined up. I said, boom, I just did. But once I started, man, then it start moving. So my advice would be to, people that's trying to get into something, just do it. Just do it. When I was doing the hosting,
for a lot of people.
Yeah. Just do it.
A lot of people, the scariest part is starting, man.
That's the scare. But once you get past that start off stage, then it comes the hosting. Man, I just did. Once I finally put it in my head that I'm gonna just do the first wedding. Once I did the first wedding, it was a wrap. Like I had no promotion, but I'm just getting word of mouth, baby showers, wedding, quinceañeras, like random events, banquets, fraternity awardment ceremonies. I've done kids fashion shows. I've done schools culture festival events. It's wild, the different types of events.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Based on you, Harry, it seemed like you gave us a lot of great positives. Like some people, based on what I'm hearing and me knowing you, you have a natural gift.
Yeah.
You have a natural gift. But there had to be some journeys that you have gone through. What's some of the most difficult parts you have gone through to get to where you're at and where you're trying to go?
One that stick out is, knowing what my worth was, right? Knowing what my real worth was. Because, you gotta be able to really accept that you popping, man. Like, for real. You gotta accept, you gotta accept that you popping. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not meaning like in an arrogant way. I'm meaning like, if you know you good at something, don't cut yourself short. So, I'll give an example. Once I started, I used to charge a certain rate. I was getting shows back to back to back. I had to turn down shows, and then again, my good friend, I was chopping it up with him, and he was like, wait, that's how much you charge for a wedding? You're like, a wedding? I was like, yeah, but I was like, I do that so I could keep getting my name out there. He's like, bro, you've been doing this for about a year. Everybody know what you're doing and you good at what you do. How you still charging that? So, once I said, okay, I'm gonna raise my prices, once I started raising my prices, I started getting less and less clients coming in. But the value of those clients was even, like, I started only getting high value clients, which when you really break it down, I'd rather deal with only the high value, or mainly the high value, because, I'm getting compensated, for the time that I'm putting in, versus the earlier stage, I was doing it more for fun. So I literally was getting paid. It might be able to, fill my tank up, 3-4 times, you know what I'm saying? But maybe go out to a nice dinner, you know what I'm saying? and I was good with that.
Why you talk about the whole value is so true. There's a lot of people that I talk to, business owners, that I tell them it's imperative you take time to increase your prices.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say, I started doing free shows. I always do free shows, educating people on making money.
Yeah.
But then I got to the point where people started booking me for shows. Yeah. And I used to do free events. But I started realizing that in the game I'm giving, the knowledge I'm giving, is saving people 5 to 7 years of time they would have invested. And it's so crazy now when I get booked for a show, people book me for sometimes 1 hour for $3,000.
Yeah.
$5,000 for 1 hour to come talk. $6,000. So it shows you're 100% right. Yeah. In life, people, when you're running a business, Harry is giving you guys some great gems. Know your value. Yeah. Know your worth. Yeah. I got to say this, Harry. A lot of people don't understand, too. One of the questions I definitely wanted to ask you, like, when you have an unorthodox type of business like you have, how do you gain clients? Like, what's one thing you could say that people should know to continuously do to have clients, to gain clients? Because that's a question a lot of people ask me. Yeah. As a business, how do I get more clients? Yeah. What's the social media work? Is it face-to-face? Is it just constantly being the best you? Which one works for you?
I think it's a combination of things. Like, for me, in the realm that I do, it's basically, doing, going out and putting on a show every night. Like, what I do, I don't really, and again, it's a gift, which I believe everybody has their own gifts. Everybody got their own gift that you can monetize. You just gotta, figure out that gift and then go for it. But for me, I could easily put on a show. I don't care what's going on in my life. If I'm sad about something or whatever, I just go on. I put on a show and I make, the show the best that it could be. Now, to get clients, me always putting on my A game every single time, that helped me a lot, because, when I'm doing these banquets, I'm making, white folk laugh, Hispanics laugh, Jamaicans laugh. Like, I'm making all kinds of different cultures have a great time. You see what I'm saying? A bunch of different cultures have a great laughing, crying, loving the time that they're celebrating. Just that, for me, is 90% of my work, 90% of my clients, I should say, is word of mouth. And for me, that is the best type of promotion, because
I feel the same way.
Yeah, those word of mouth is when somebody say, hey, my friend told me about you and they say you're really good. Once they tell me that, I really don't have, once I tell them my price, there's no negotiating, no nothing like that. Because
they're already ready to go.
Yeah, you already got recommendations. They said, yeah, but how come you charge so much? I said, well, look, talk to the friend who referred you. If they tell you I'm worth it, then I'm telling you, just, this is what I'm good at this, and I have to charge accordingly. And, for me, that word of mouth is key. But then I also do when I'm at the event, I have cards, flyers that I give out at the event. So, for any business, you got to put the legwork in. Whether it be social media, you got to do your social media hustle. You got to, be out there. You got to be shaking hands, kissing babies in a sense. But, you just got to grind for it. You got to grind for the clients. They're not going to just come just because you got the product or service. You have to really go out there and, put in the work for it.
I love how you said that, Harry. It's wonderful to hear your journey, because we got a lot in common. Every day I'm posting on social media. Every day I'm grinding. You got to promote your product. You got to try to be the best you. When I do shows, I make them laugh. I crack jokes. I make financial education fun.
Yeah.
You don't have to be at a boring show to learn stocks or crypto or whatever it is that you learn. I make sure they have fun at my show. Music is playing. I got Afro beats, music playing, giving them a vibe. Got Hispanic music playing to give them a vibe. Because I realize that you're 100% right. When you're doing something that other people aren't doing, you're going to always win. You're going to always win. And the goal is to be the best you. Harry, we had a great conversation. My thing is, for a lot of people, how can they find Harry? What's your social media outlets? You know, how can they find and book Harry for a show? The event king, the contract, the electrical contracting guru. How can they book the event king for their next event?
So to find me, you could look me up on Facebook. It's Flyboy Diesel. You can also hit me up on my number 786, my business line 786-319-3834. And I also have a page on Facebook. It's called For the Culture. It's a dope page. You know, I put a lot of work into that, and that's more or less to put in work for the community, for our community, things that help our community, what we could do to better it. For the Culture. You'll see it. Just search it for groups on Facebook, For the Culture, and you know you can reach me on any of those avenues.
Guys, you heard it here first. Harry Dennis, the Flyboy Diesel in the building, event king. This guy knows how to host events. He's mastered the art of it. Your next wedding, your next birthday, your next business event. This is your guy.
That's it. That's it.
You found out where he's located, how to find him on social media. Appreciate you having me on your platform. It means a lot. Thank you, my brother. I want everybody to have a great night. Don't forget, this Thursday night, we are talking about our relationship topic, and you know it's going to be good. Why do men cheat? And guess who's going to be a guest on my next week Thursday relationship? Harry Dennis is in the building.
Let's go, man.
Y'all know what it is. Hey, boy, Harry Dennis, man.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you, Harry. You guys have a great day. Appreciate all the love, people. Thank you, Harry, for being on my platform tonight.
Yeah.